Hey everybody, it's Anne Marie from the Women's Business Center of Utah on a live stream today. I'm joined by Vanessa Ramirez, someone I know really well, and I'm so excited to have you here with us. I want to introduce you to Vanessa, and I'm going to ask you some questions to share with everybody. But this is the Women's Business Center of Utah, a statewide nonprofit serving business owners from the top of the state to the bottom, from the east to the west, and everywhere in between. And I'm really excited for you to get to know one of the ladies that we've helped. So, Vanessa, do you want to basically introduce yourself and what your business does for this area?
Sure. So good morning, everyone. Again, it's Vanessa with Connexion Utah. Thanks for having me, Anne Marie, and the Women's Business Center of Utah. So Connexion Utah is a business consulting and marketing events company. We do business consulting for mostly small and new businesses. It's been pretty local. Events as well. So marketing events such as grand openings and things like that. In the past, we've done pop-ups, and we've kind of put a halt to our networking events as well as our educational training and things like that. So I think we'll be getting that resumed shortly. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's in a nutshell what Connexion Utah does.
Great. Well, it's so nice to get to know you. And like I said, we've gone through a couple different things together. And something that I wanted to know a little bit more about that you could share with everybody was, how did you hear about the Women's Business Center of Utah?
So I think this was even before I started my business. And I believe it was my friend who does my lashes mentioned something about you guys. And I thought, well, that sounds really cool. She's like, you should look into them. Like, they're very resourceful. So I did. And this was back in 2018. So it's been a long time. So before I started anything at all, I was doing personal injury law and was a business development manager for a firm. And so I thought, well, maybe I can kind of start looking at what it looks like to own my own business. And it sounded like you guys had all the resources for that. So that was, back in 2018, started attending all of your classes, and now we're here.
Good. You'd mentioned classes and things like that. I know you were one of the few people we had in the first cohort. I think, was it the first or second of our Next Step program? I have stepped away from our Next Step program that's going on right now. It's the first time we've done it in person, but we've done 3 cohorts that were virtual, and they worked really great. Do you want to tell everybody what that was like for you? I think you mentored, but also went through the program. So share a little bit about that experience.
Sure. So funny thing is, I did mentor before I actually took the class, which was really interesting. It was really fun mentoring, and just kind of going through the steps of what it looked like. I think at that point I had already done the 2 businesses, so I thought maybe I could fit as a mentor. I felt like I did a good job. And my mentee, she's doing very, very well, and lots of contribution to the class, and us working together, which is great. So doing the class myself, though, there's a lot of things that I thought maybe I had already known. Going through the course was very, very helpful, especially when it came to numbers. I'm not good with numbers. So it was a lot of insight, very helpful. I think a lot of it too could be very beneficial for people who maybe don't have as much experience in business and are just kind of getting, running off the ground. It's definitely something beneficial. I feel like for everyone being in business for years or just implementing or starting a new business or structure.
Oh, that's so great. I love the program. I'm so glad it's been helpful for you.
Yes.
So I'm just curious if you can share what kind of impact, in addition to what you've already said, that the Women's Business Center has been for you, including, are you on our directory? I should have looked it up before, but will you share what, by being involved, what it's actually done for your business and how you feel about it?
Yeah. For me, I feel like it's been very helpful as far as knowing I have an organization that I can count on, knowing if I, need any support in anything, as far as whether that be a mentor, or we've done collaborative classes when we brought Google once upon a time. That was really cool. And, having you guys as a mentor in our space at one point, which was amazing. And I saw the benefit that came from it, not just from me, but from other women with, businesses. And again, that could be sometimes a lot of the women who are solopreneurs don't really have a lot of people to bounce ideas off of or know if they're doing the right thing or whatever that looks like. So having you guys has been a huge asset to a lot of us in the community.
I'm so glad. I feel the same way. I'm a business owner too, and it can be lonely. Like you'd mentioned, especially if you're a solopreneur, that means you don't have any employees. You wear every single hat. It's a lot of work. It can be really fabulous, but it also can be pretty lonely. So
Yeah.
it's nice to be able to connect with one another. And for us, we're statewide. So we have ladies that we assist in all the counties. So it's really fun to be able to connect with one another.
Yeah.
And we also have additional events. I mean, we've done one that was on August 26th called Let's Talk About It. So we got women
Yeah.
together. I think you were there at our Sandy location.
Yeah.
Just
That
talking
was
about,
great.
you
That
want to talk
was so
about how
great.
you felt about it?
Yeah. I think one of the things I really enjoyed about that, first of all, I hadn't really been out doing a whole lot because of COVID. And so it was nice getting out and seeing a lot of familiar faces and catching up. Like, where is everyone? What's everyone been up to? How's everyone doing with their business? Hearing all of the pivots for a lot of companies too during this difficult time. So it's just been interesting learning and still seeing, that there's still support out there and being able to connect with people. And again, you guys with the support of bringing us together, bringing the, anything educational or anything that's been helpful, just being super resourceful. So I'm really grateful for you guys.
Great. And it's so fun to get on these live streams because I mean most of the time I know the people we have on pretty well. So it's
Yeah.
nice to see you even if it's virtually.
Yeah.
And I just want to remind everyone that the Utah Women Owned Business Directory at utahwomenowned.com,
Yeah.
it's a service for the community. It doesn't cost anything to be on it. It doesn't cost to use it. We just want to make sure that our businesses that are owned and operated by women can be highlighted. It's hard to tell which ones are women owned. Sometimes it's easier to say, yeah, it's small business, but to say it's a
Mhm.
woman owned, I'm not sure. But that's a place you can
Yeah.
go to find out. Is there
Yeah.
anything that's going to be happening on the horizon for you in the future?
Um, there are a few things in the works. Two pretty big things that I'm really excited for. I don't even want to share it yet
This
because
is exciting.
it's a lot of work behind the scenes that is going into it. But I would say early next year, we will definitely have some changes. One thing I can share that I'm really excited for is so in 2018, when I started Connexion, um, we kind of just slapped the website together and said, hey, let's put something on there. And I've hated it. Like I've always hated it, but I've never made the time to go back in and say, "Hey, let me update it. Let me put my own content. Let me just give it a whole facelift, right?" And so I'm finally to that point where I said, "Okay, let me start getting things in order for the big things that are coming and make sure that like all the back end things are looking good too." So we're kind of polishing that up, and I think again that might take a couple months. So anyways, that's a good thing to look forward to for us and for everybody else. When they go and look on there, it'll be up to date, not just some old stuff on there. So I'm excited for that. Again, with the changes that are coming, I anticipate us resuming, our networking events and other like pop-ups and educational training and things like that, networking, all the good stuff. So everyone keeps asking, and you guys, it's coming, I
It's
promise.
coming.
Just like a 2.0 version.
I love it. That's so exciting. And congratulations on all the hard work that you're putting into that you already have and that you are working on in the future. And I think a lot of us would recognize the same thing in ourselves. Oh, like I put up a website, it's has information on it, but I need to go back and revisit it. So for all of you out there who are listening, and that's you too, just know that it's time to go back to your website and we can help with that too.
I think, there's always room for innovation and different things. And I think sometimes we get caught up with other things and like running the business and getting clients and, bringing in revenue and things that for that, I was like, my website, it's not that important. But I'm like, yeah, but what about somebody that doesn't know my company? They
Yeah.
don't know, maybe they've never met me. Maybe they don't know about the company or they've heard about it from someone. And so they're doing their research and the website does not match our energy and who we are. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I think I just want it all to be just across the board, right? To show just by looking at who we are and what it is that we do. So
I
yeah,
love
it's
it.
okay.
Isn't
We're
it
so
interesting
busy.
that that
I'm giving
branding
myself a break.
messaging, it plays into your operations so that
Yeah,
you're run better and so
right.
you can attract the customers that really are looking for what you do in the special way that
Yeah,
you do it.
yeah,
So
definitely.
it's been so nice to talk with you. I wish you were like sitting right next to
I
me, but
know.
when that happened.
Virtual hug.
Yes, exactly. I love it. There's real hug. If there's anything else that you think that you would like to share with everyone, I'll just give you a couple seconds and then we will wrap up.
Okay. I would like to say, so now that events are slowly opening back up, although we're not doing our own as much or even so much yet, we have been busy doing grand openings and other events for companies. So if there's anyone out there that is planning on doing a grand opening, needs help with the entire thing as far as like planning and executing, we would be very honored to help or in any way that we can, right? So if anyone's looking to do that, if there's any, customer appreciation events coming up, we'd be happy to help with those as well. Just any type of events around the business that you can think of. If you have anything, let us know. Or I also have the photo booth. That's like a side company. So it's called Bliss Events. So if anyone needs a photo booth for any events for marketing, it's really, really good. Lots of fun. So make sure you keep me in mind for that.
Great. It's so nice to hear that you have multiple businesses because many of us do. So
Yeah.
it's so nice to talk to you and catch up. It's so nice to be able to share this with everybody else. Please go to utahwomenowned.com to find more listings, including Vanessa's. She'd mentioned a couple things that she offers. And don't forget, as soon as you sign up for the directory, you are one or two clicks away from our services. So we're here to help as a nonprofit, and we really care to help you have a good experience in starting a business or growing it in the best way possible. Thanks so much, everyone.